Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for another video where I spill the tea on a tarot deck. This deck that I'm looking at this week is one that I found from Etsy. My name is Debbie and I am from Spill the Tea Leaf Readings and more. If you'd like a tarot reading or tea leaf reading, you can comment below, message me, or email me at info@spillthetealeaf.com. So as I mentioned, this week the deck we're looking at is one from Etsy. As you can probably already tell, it's Disney inspired. So it's created by WisdomByKK, and they're the Disney inspired fortune telling cards. I was looking for a deck that was Disney inspired or Disney. Disney's been doing a really good job recently with their tarot decks, but they still haven't put out one with more traditional Disney characters other than the villains. And there certainly isn't like a Disney princess one or anything like that. And so I thought this one was good. It has your traditional Disney princesses. It has, as you can see, Pinocchio. It has some Mickey Mouse. It has Winnie the Pooh. And it does have movies all the way up to Frozen, which is pretty cool. So I got this deck maybe 2 years ago. So some of the more recent movies hadn't come out yet for sure. So Frozen, if it wasn't the most recent, it was pretty close when I got this deck. This did not come with a box. It came with a crushed velvet drawstring bag. The inside is not crushed velvet, but that's okay. This is a little bit snug on the cards, a little too snug in my personal opinion, but I am grateful that it came with a bag and that it wasn't just cards and I had to find a way to keep them together. So that's good. The only thing that came with it other than the bag were these two cards that I already showed you that tell you what the deck is and who the creator is. And that's it. So let's just dive right into the cards, starting, of course, with Major Arcana. So as you can see, Pinocchio is the Fool. Sorcerer's Apprentice is the Magician. My Girl, the Evil Queen, is the High Priestess. Snow White is the Empress, which I find to be a little bit odd, but that's okay. Otter, in my opinion, is the fact that Snow White and the prince together are the emperor. I'm not going to go through who all the characters are. I'm sure if you're a fan of Disney, you can tell. I'll point out that Merida is here. So again, we do have more, or I should say newer Disney characters like Merida, Rapunzel. Eeyore as the Hermit is another one that I find a little bit baffling. On one hand, it makes perfect sense, and on the other, he never wants to be alone. And I feel like the Hermit, unless it's reversed, removes himself on purpose. That's okay. There's Olaf, Hercules. So again, we have, less traditional, and here's a more traditional character in Dumbo. Maleficent as Death makes sense to me somehow. The devil is, of course, Hades from Hercules. So there's no guidebook to this deck, but it does have, as you can see here, there's Tiana, words on each card that tell you the meaning of the card. There's Robin Hood. So not to say that a guidebook wouldn't be nice, but at least you understand the artist's interpretation of the cards, which I appreciate. The Ace of Wands, of course, is Lumiere, which I appreciate. And you need someone wielding a wand in the deck of wands. So there's the godmother. Mulan, Winnie the Pooh. Ursula this is maybe the worst card in the deck in terms of recognition. Like I can tell it's an octopus and therefore I'm assuming it's Ursula, but I can't actually tell. All these cards you may have noticed are kind of missing faces. You just saw the genie from Aladdin, we have Jungle Book, more Merida. So I'm guessing that, this isn't licensed, and so this must be the artist's way of sort of getting away with using Disney characters by having eyes and things like that missing. So one thing that's interesting about this deck is all of the kings are couples. So you have the queen, which is Belle, and then the king is her and the beast together, and this is consistent throughout all the suits. I'm not sure I like it. I maybe understand why the creator did it. You know, if they're established couples and they reach happily ever after, then they're established and kings are established. But I find it weird, and that it's something that we'll see throughout this deck. So here are the swords. I don't think we've seen Pocahontas yet. There's a lot of Aladdin. Although, if memory serves, Aladdin, despite having all these cards that I just showed you, they're not the court cards in this, which is interesting. Hook from Peter Pan. Okay, Puss in Boots is not Disney, right? Isn't Puss in Boots and Shrek, isn't that DreamWorks? So if I'm missing something, if this is a Disney character, please comment and let me know. Otherwise, I'm just really confused as to how this got into the deck. So yeah, so you have Mowgli, and then again, Queen is Aurora, and then the King is Aurora and Prince Philip. So kind of weird. I mean, who else is going to be Ace of Cups, right? More Frozen. There's Moana. Mickey and Minnie. I love the dwarves. More Tiana. Lady and the Tramp makes it in. There you have the Mad Hatter. Okay, so this is all Aladdin court cards, which again, as I mentioned last time, is weird because the swords have a lot of Aladdin cards, but yet the cups are the ones that have all the Aladdin court cards. So, okay, here you have Aladdin as the Knight of Cups, right? And then it's just weird. Like I don't mind that Jasmine's the queen, but like why would you have Aladdin as both the knight and the king? I don't know, I guess it's after Aladdin's learned his lessons or something. It's just weird. I don't think we've seen any Lion King yet or Bambi. Oh, Alice, Peter Pan, Cinderella, and oh, Cinderella and Prince Charming together as a king. So as you can see, this deck does have characters from all you know, I don't want to say all the Disney movies, that wouldn't be true, but the traditional and more modern Disney movies, which is really nice. I'm not sure that I 100% agree with which characters are picked for which cards. I'm not really on board with the way they do the court cards, especially the cups with Aladdin being the knight and sharing the king with Jasmine. I'm not saying the princes should be the kings at all, but I think it's weird that the kings are couples. I also think the emperor is weird as a couple, but this creator clearly doesn't want princes to have their own cards, and so I don't know if I should be looking at those cards as like the king is really the prince, but we're showing you the prince with the princess, or if I'm supposed to be reading them as a couple. So yeah, I don't 100% agree with this deck. I find it strange. I appreciate that there are keywords on the cards, which make it good for a new reader and also give insight to readers who are reading intuitively but maybe don't understand the link between the character and the traditional meanings, and are just going on intuition. It's an okay deck. I think knowing what I know about it, I would have stopped myself from purchasing it, honestly. But I have it. It's cute. I like the artwork. And considering it's not Disney sanctioned, it is what it is. And if Disney does come out with more tarot decks, which I hope they do, if they do come out with, you know, an animated movies or a Disney princess tarot deck, hopefully I'll like it more than I like this deck. But this one's pretty to look at, and I have it, and that's that, I guess. I didn't do a deck interview with this, honestly, because I was pressed for time. And two, because I found that, I don't know, I'm not sure I enjoy using this deck, but there might be a reason for that, that a deck interview would help me figure out. But yeah, no offense to the artists. This is a deck I kind of regret buying, but I do like the artwork. I just I could have spent my money elsewhere, I think. But Etsy is a great place to find tarot cards of all kinds. So I'm not recommending that people look on Etsy, and I'm not saying that people shouldn't buy decks from this particular creator. I just personally wish that I hadn't bought this one. That's how I feel. You know, it's not a collector's deck. It's sort of a holder deck until Disney comes out with something official, I suppose. But it's nice to look at, and I'll happily do a reading for anyone with this deck who is curious to see how a reading would turn out. So again, my name is Debbie. I'm from Spill the Tea Leaf Readings and more. I do tarot card readings and tea leaf readings, and if you would like a reading of any kind, please let me know. You can comment below, you can message me, or you can email me at info@spillthetealeaf.com. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a wonderful day. Bye.